Hello, scholars. Today we're going to practice maps and charts. Now, maps and charts are excellent ways to be able to look at all sorts of information and get all sorts of cool facts from it. So, for example, if you look at a map, you can understand what a place looks like. You can see, depending on what type of map it is, maybe how many people live there, or the names of the different cities or towns or counties. You can see its borders. You can find out information like that. If you look at a chart, depending on what the chart is about, if you look at the title or the headings, you're able to understand what the information on that chart is trying to show you, and it's in a nice condensed way. So today we're going to look at a map that shows physical features, and then we're going to look at a chart that's going to give you all sorts of cool facts about your state. So right here in this video, you can see I've got like two windows going on. In the one window where it right now says physical features, that's going to be kind of previewing for you your work that you're going to be working on this week. This way you see what it looks like, and then you're going to feel super confident to go ahead and crush it when you do it on your own. So first thing we want to think about is physical features. And we're going to be looking at these physical features on a map of Michigan. So physical features, what are they? Well, physical features are going to describe what the land looks like. So if you're thinking of a particular place, the physical features of that place are going to show what the land looks like. So let's say you're in the desert. The physical features of the desert would be that it's a desert, so there's going to be a lot of sand. There aren't going to be very many plants. You might see these things called like mesas or plateaus, which are like these big flat rocks that kind of come up out of the ground. It's kind of like if you took a mountain and just like chopped it off. So you'll see things like that. Let's say you're in the Upper Peninsula here in Michigan. The physical features you would see are rivers and waterfalls and mountains and trees. So physical features are going to describe what the land in a particular place looks like. Now, physical features can include all of these different things: mountains, deserts, forests, bodies of water. Those are things like rivers, lakes, streams, creeks, seas, oceans, all of that stuff. And there's so much more that physical features can include, because physical features are just looking at the land. What physical things do you notice about the land? Now, maps are an excellent way to see physical features. So we're going to go ahead and look at an example. So right here, we see a map of our wonderful state of Michigan. And if I'm looking at this map, I can see all sorts of physical features. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to look at some of these physical features. So hopefully we can zoom in. Wish me luck on this. So first, if I look at the map, I can see that our state has some amazing physical features, which are water. I see Lake Superior to our north. I see Lake Michigan to our west. I see Lake Huron to our east. Lake Erie to our southeast. I'm able to see lakes like Lake St. Clair as well. And over here, Houghton Lake. Houghton Lake is our largest lake within the state of Michigan. Then I also see places like Saginaw Bay and Grand Traverse Bay. So these are all amazing bodies of water that I'm able to see. Those are some of our physical features. You can also see tons and tons of rivers. We've got the Grand River, which is over here. We've got the Looking Glass River. We've got the St. Joseph River and the Kalamazoo River. So those are going to be some of our examples of physical features. But those aren't the only physical features we have here in Michigan. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to zoom in a little bit. So if I'm looking at this map, I'm able to see these dark green areas. Now I'm going to wonder, what are these dark green areas? So I'm going to look at my map key, and I'm able to tell by the light green that that's National Forest land. Forest. Does that describe what land looks like? You betcha. So I know that if I see these light green areas, it's going to show me forest. I see forest over here in the Upper Peninsula towards our border with Wisconsin. That's going to be one of our national forests. I see some more forest over here between Munising and heading on down to that Garden Peninsula, Gladstone, that area. And then that town that I always pronounce wrong, so I'm not even going to try. But I see right here in this nice area that there's some more forest. Here we have some additional forest over by the Mackinac Bridge in St. Ignace, going over to Whitefish Bay. We have some over here between Milo and Tawas City down in the Lower Peninsula. We have more over here. So I'm able to see that there's so much forest in our state. That's an interesting physical feature to be able to see. Now, a third physical feature that we're going to look at, which there's not information about it in the key, but I'm going to show you a cool thing about this map. Now, if we look down here at the bottom, there are areas around Lansing where if you look, it's just kind of like that grayish color. There's not much going on. But if you look as you get further and further north, the grays change. And in fact, some of them kind of get a little bit darker. And that's not just because the way the map looks and the way it was printed. Oh, no, no. What this is it's showing areas where there are mountains. We see up here in the Upper Peninsula, this is where our Porcupine Mountains are. These are where we have our mountains in the Upper Peninsula. And in fact, I see right here a little X that says Mount Arvin, which is the tallest mountain in Michigan. It's the highest point that you can go see. It's super windy up there, but you can see forever. And you can see how tall it is. It is 1,979 feet, which is very, very tall. So I'm able to see that highest point in Michigan. And based on all these dark gray bumpy looking things near it, I know that those are mountains. So I'm able to see, looking at this picture, all these different, whoop, I zoomed out too far. All these different physical features for our state. We see water, we see forests, we see mountains. All right, so those are some of the things that we see as physical features in our state. Now, there are others, and I know the more you look, the more you explore, the more you'll see. For example, I see islands. Do you see islands? Islands are a physical feature. I see quite a few looking at this. I see the Isle Royale. I see Manitou Islands. I see Mackinac Island. So we see all these different places here as well. So those are some of our physical features. Now, what are you going to do with this map? You're not just going to look at it and talk at your computer the way I am, because let's face it, that's not going to show me or Mr. Newport or Mr. Farron everything you're learning. So what you're going to do is, after you've studied this map, you are going to go and look at this chart. And you are going to make a chart about what makes our state unique. So you're going to name 4 physical features you saw on that map. And if you're following along with me, we saw way more than 4 physical features on this map. So you can go through and describe, you can name and describe the physical features that you are seeing. Remember, physical features are things like mountains, forests, and water. They are not things like states or cities, okay? So you're not going to say, I see Wisconsin, because that's not a physical feature for Michigan. You're not going to say, I see Detroit, because that's not a physical feature. You want to look for mountains, forests, and water, okay? So after you name those 4 things, you're going to think, based on those physical features, if you wanted to take a friend, where would you want to go and what would you do? So for example, if you said you would take them to the mountains, what would you do? Would you hike on the mountains? Would you ski on the mountains? That would be something you could do to enjoy that physical feature. If you go to the water, would you want to go canoeing or kayaking? Would you want to go swimming? You want to say those things. I'm not going to say you're going to go to the water and go mountain climbing. That doesn't make sense. Think of the activities you could do with that physical feature, okay? So those are the things that are going to make our state special, are these physical features. Now, that's just the first part. The second part is we're going to look at charts. Now, what on earth are charts? Charts are just an excellent way to organize information, and I guarantee you've seen a chart. In fact, when we look at the next one, you're going to be like, oh, wow, I've totally seen something like that before. So when you look at a chart, the couple things you want to look at, you want to look at the title. If you can read the title, you know what the chart's about, you're already going to be good to go. So you're going to find out what the title is of that chart. Then, are there headings on that chart? There might be rows and columns, and you want to look for what the headings are on these rows and columns. Are there bold words? Those are the words that just look heavier and fatter. Are there italic words? Those are the words that look slanty. Are there pictures? Some charts include pictures on them. So when you want to look at a chart, you don't want to just look at words. You want to look at all of those things, all those different words and those special words, because they'll help you understand. So we have a cool chart we're looking at this week, and it is all about facts about Michigan. It's fun facts. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see a bit better. So right away, I can see the title of our chart. And what is the title? It's going to be at the top. It is Michigan. Hello. So if I look at that title, I'm going to think, I bet you that this chart is going to teach me some facts about Michigan, because you know that your title always relates to 2 things: main idea, author's purpose. So I see it's Michigan. I'm going to think that it's probably going to tell me something about Michigan. So knowing that, I looked at my title, I can make some predictions and some inferences, thinking, knowing that charts give facts, knowing that my title is Michigan, I'm going to make an inference that this chart is going to teach me things about Michigan. Then I look more, I see a heading at the top. It says fast facts. So I'm going to continue to make these inferences about the chart. If my chart's called Michigan and the heading is fast facts, what do I think this chart's going to be teaching me? Fast facts about Michigan. Don't overthink it. It's that simple, guys. Now that I figured that out, now I can continue to read through. I see some bold words: nickname, statehood, population, capital, biggest city, abbreviation, state bird, state flower, I can look at those and know, oh, right away, I can find out all these cool things about our state. And because these are nice headings and nice bold words, I can find information right away. So if someone said, hey, I have a question for you. I want to know a fast fact about Michigan. What's its abbreviation? I don't have to read the whole thing. I can look for where it says abbreviation, go abbreviation, capital M, capital I. The abbreviation for Michigan is capital M, capital I, M-I. Boom. Now you know that fact. If someone says, hey, I want to know a fast fact about Michigan. What's the state flower? Go ahead and look at that chart. Do you see the bold words? State flower. And what's the state flower? Apple blossom. It saves you from having to read through everything all the time. It's not big paragraphs, it's quick information. So that's why charts are phenomenally awesome, because you can look at them and find fast facts right away without having to dig through everything. Now, once again, why are we looking at charts? Well, one, it makes you an excellent scholar. Scholars know how to look at charts and find information super fast. But today we're looking at this chart so we can understand how to read charts. So the next part after you've looked at this chart is you are going to be analyzing the chart. Analyzing means like putting your thinking cap on now that you've looked at this chart. So you're going to want to think, what's the title? You already said it. After you read the title, what do you think this chart's going to be about? Don't overthink it. What categories are on the chart? So those are going to be things like your headings. Then you're going to think, how do these headings, how do these categories help you understand the information that's on your chart? Then what are some cool facts you can learn about the chart? And then what are some inferences? Remember, inferences are when you take what you read plus what you know, and that makes an inference. So what things based on what you read, and what things based on what you know because you live here, and we've studied it with Meet Michigan, what inferences can you make based on this chart? So today, when you go through your social studies, remember, you are going to be looking at our map of Michigan to find physical features, and you're going to look at our chart of Michigan to find fast facts. Once you do that, you're going to be able to find out all sorts of cool information for why our state is so special and so unique. Michigan is unlike any other state, and that's why I'm so excited to live here and so excited to teach here and so excited to be a Michigander, and I hope you are too, because you're able to explore cool things, you're able to share neat facts about our state. So you're going to take everything you learned from your map and everything you learned from your chart to help you do a quick writing where you're going to explain why our state is so unique. Okay, so scholars, I hope that this was helpful for you to understand more about how we can use maps and charts so you can find physical features and fast facts about our state. So let's go ahead. We're going to continue to rock out our learning. As always, we are very proud of you. And until next time, goodbye, scholars.